Women of Power podcast is a platform for passionate and influential women who are catalysts for change, pioneers in their fields, the change makers, the trailblazers, performers and influencers, driven entrepreneurs and professionals. They play a vital role in driving economic growth and bridging the talent shortages across organizations of various scales. Building cause-based businesses to create positive impact in their communities and towards sustainable goals for the people, planet, and prosperity. In every industry, women are shattering barriers and strive to create a space where they can exhibit their achievements and motivate other women to unleash their limitless potential. We encourage collaboration, networking, and knowledge sharing among women. Let's inspire and learn from one another while sharing our valuable experiences. Thank you for joining us and listening to this episode. Hello, and welcome to another episode of Women of Power podcast. Women of Power podcast is a platform for passionate and influential women who are the catalyst of change, pioneers in their field, the change makers, the trailblazers, the performers, the influencers, driven entrepreneurs and professionals. They play a vital role in driving economic growth and bridging talent shortages across the organizations of various scales. Building cause-based businesses to create positive impact in their communities and towards sustainable goals for the people, planet, and prosperity. Women of Power is a dynamic platform that recognizes the incredible potential of women as a driving force behind the global economic growth. It's a platform that celebrates and empowers women of passion and power. As I always say that until we get to speak to women who have gone through the tremendous challenges to get where they have placed themselves or have arrived, there is a bigger story behind the scenes that our bios and our profiles can explain. And today, I am very proud to introduce a guest that she is engineer and strategist, and her journey herself, she's going to explain. I'm proud to introduce to you Sairan Aqrawi. She's an engineer and a business strategist, utilizing her technical expertise and strategic insight to help especially midlife women through their career transition, which we have seen post-pandemic happening a lot, and empowering them with clarity, confidence, and bold actions to drive meaningful and measurable results. As a sought-after coach, and with years of experiencing mentoring emerging and established leaders, Sairan understands the unique challenges that women face in leadership role. I would like to welcome Sairan. Welcome to the Women of Power podcast. Tell us a little bit more about yourself.
Thank you. Thank you, Ritu, for the beautiful introduction. I'm so glad to be here with you and adding value for your audience and your beautiful platform. And to just summarize shortly who I am, as you said, I'm still a full-time engineer. I work for the transit agency. I've been in engineering and technology for over 30 years. And actually right before pandemic, when I just finished my master's degree in engineering, I thought I'm ready to go and start my doctoral. So right the first semester of my doctoral, I got an opportunity to speak with a group of younger engineers at the university, at the Women in Engineering. And the department fell in love with it. I loved it, and I never looked back. I said, I'm not finishing my doctoral. I'm just going to do mentoring and coaching. So right after that, I joined the ICF. I become a certified coach, ACC, and I feel like really I've been teaching all my life. Even when I was a teenage, I used to be a swimming coach. I love to teach swimming to teenage. Then I become an adult swimming coach. Then I start teaching other people at the college for people who are not very good in math. I was very good in math. I have that gift since I was a child. So I thought like whoever is struggling, everyone's problem is my problem. I don't know why I thought that way. Like I always felt fulfilled and I have that sense of satisfaction when someone come to me, they said, how are you solving those difficult engineering in equation? And when I try to explain in a simple way and they get that aha moment, I feel like $1 million. I was like, oh, I'm better than the teacher. They learn it from me rather than the teacher. So I feel I've been teaching all my life. And right before pandemic, uh, I thought about my doctoral. Should I go back and finish it? Then I start seeking other impact that I can add to the younger generation. And I fell in love with the, transition and transformation. I used to have an old niche called transition expert. I used to only guide and coach women who come internationally to United States to seek the
Mhm.
American dream. I done that for almost 4 or 5 years. Then I was ready to be brave enough to change my niche to business strategists. So on September 2023, I start a new platform, which is Business Strategists. I guide midlife women to discover, reinvent themselves when they hit their midlife and kind of monetize and celebrate their hidden talent. And here I am speaking with you.
Thank you so much. I think before I go into my list of questions to ask, I want to just kind of acknowledge thank you for being you who you are as a woman, as an engineer, and specializing, growing your talent in mathematics and helping others. This is such an incredible gift for you to have and give it to others.
Yeah.
Right. It is like it cannot be devalued.
Yes, yes,
So,
yes.
very important. And why women? I hosted an event last month. Why invest in women? And I want to just kind of quickly touch on it because you are a perfect example of why, right? So, women not only at the center of the household as raising the younger generation, also in our modern times, we contribute to economy. We are pretty much very close to the 50% of the paid workforce, right? So the value of the knowledge, talent, and a contribution, it cannot be ignored anymore. And you mentioned that immigrant women training them, right? So I would have a lot of questions around it. So they are into a new host country. They may have a lot of education talent, but it's a cultural shift that they are going through, plus learning the ways of settling themselves in being a contributing part of the society. So let's take it. So you talked about helping women reinventing themselves. Let's say, what was the exact moment you felt that it's a time to reinvent yourself?
Good question, because when I finished my master and I was getting ready to go further for my doctoral, I asked this question to myself. I was like, okay, I'm an engineer, I'm making money, I have a degree now. Is that all? Is that all I can, give away? Is that the impact? Is that the sense of belonging that I need to feel the rest of my life? 50's coming, my kids in high school, I will be empty nester or they're gonna leave starting their own life. Is that all what I need to make money and come home and pay the bills and take 2 vacation in the year? Do I call this a life? this is not actually a real life or productive life. This is a boring routine. This is such a boring life, right? Going 9 to 5, pick up a big paycheck and paying the bills. And for immigrant women who has all those dreams, I mean, I even said it in my book. I only had $300, but million of dreams. When I come to this land, my intention or my goal was not just to look younger or more beautiful and being on the boat and taking Instagram pictures and having an expensive bag, telling the universe this is the American dream. That's not the American dream. This land giving you so much opportunity. It's up to us how much we can take those opportunities seriously. So to go back and just going back how I started, it was not easy, and it's not going to be easy to any other woman who come from different country to start alive in the United States. There is a lot of obstacles. There is a culture shock. There is the language barrier. There's a lot of blocks in your way, and you will face those blocks, and you will still facing them even after you succeed. So if I come as a coach and give my beautiful speech to the immigrant woman, life is good, everything will be rosy. There will be a red carpet laying down for you because you are an engineer or you are a doctor or you are a lawyer. That's not the reality because they're going to hit the reality so quick. No one will be waiting for you at the airport. No one will sponsor you. No one will be mentoring you right away. It's your own journey and you have to discover it. It's all inner work, Ritu, as you know. You
Yes.
are a successful woman who come to this country. You know very well you had to work so hard and your books and your coaching and your programs and your podcasts. No one lay down these for you. No one put it on the tray and say, "Hey, Ritu, this is you. You're smart. Take it away." No, you were digging hard and deep in every effort in order to make it happen. So for people who come to this country, I get really annoyed now when I hear the younger generation, they come to this country and they blame the system. They blame the government. They blame the coworker, the boss who's being racist with them. I got all of that. We all been through all of that. You are not telling me a new story. And that story, it's gonna keep going on all the time. So I cannot come here and telling you, oh, there is no more racism, there is no stereotype. If you get your PhD degree, your boss will bow for you. There is no such things. Those blocks will still be here.
Yes.
The magic is, the key is how you befriend it, how you can tackle those obstacles, how you are navigating around those, and how you gain the skills and the talent as an immigrant man and woman. When you get those talent and skills, when you enter that room, you're going to obligate everyone in that room to take you seriously because you
Absolutely.
master it, because you master your skills. There is no other option to take you seriously
Uh,
because you're a master now.
this is a very important point. So, many years ago, I had a very fortunate opportunity to edit a book written by two sociology professors in New York. And they had observed 700 students, interviewed 700 over 20 years of their experiences in New York. I mean, it's a very dynamic, culturally, so many different immigrants there. So the cultural mindset and their talents and they observed them in many aspects, and it wasn't as such an important observation that how people are living two cultures in their mind, etc. And that was 20 some years ago. And when we are in the, more than 25 years ago. So now we are in a tech driven society with the social media information overload, um, misinformation overload, and the generational change. Um, it's very easy to be lost.
Yeah, yeah, it is. It is.
However, there is no substitute of hard work and being creative and contributing and learning skill. The skills are still needed. They are different than they were 25 years ago in demand. They're different, but they're still very much part of the American dream or anybody's dream.
Yes, totally. Totally. And you said it well, Ritu. I mean, it's the hard work. You cannot substitute that with anything. There is no shortcut for success. There is no elevator. Like they said, you take the elevator and you get to the top of the entrepreneurship. I feel like a lot of people who give up as an entrepreneur or a small business like myself, what's happened, they kind of forget the basic. If you just master the basic, there is basic to start any project. There is a basic to start your new book. There's a basic to start a podcast. There is a basic steps to pivot to a new job. If you master those basics, which is it's known to everyone, it's not like when I am coaching you, I am teaching you magic or I'm telling you something new. I'm just reminding you what is you already known, right? So I'm kind of like a guide and accountability partner. I'm not coming to your coaching session telling you stuff that you never hear about. It just happened to be, as you said, social media, technology around us create so much noise, so much distraction. And if we caught up comparing ourselves for people who start like us, but they are doing better in Instagram, they are making more workshop and Facebook, they are doing more speaking gigs on the stage. Each one of us have a different route. Each one of us has our own uniqueness to deliver our message. So that the mistake happened when I compare myself with Ritu, who started a podcast 2 years ago. And I say, why she's doing better than me? Oh my God, what she's doing that make her more valuable. Well, I don't like her. Let me see what she's doing and I will mimic her. That's not right. The right way is I should go back, not comparing myself with Rito. I should compare myself with my version 2 years ago. And I get to ask this question a lot. They said, as an engineer, you are the lady with numbers. What is your definition of success? And I never change the definition of success. I think I've been saying the same thing for the past 12 years. To me, success, it's the energy that you keep progressing.
Yes.
It's the energy that you keep getting to a better version of yourself. So you are a successful entrepreneur woman. If your podcast now, if it's episode, let's say 55, it's much better than episode 15 or 12. That's success because you are progressing. You are not comparing yourself with Joe Rogan or Mel Robbins, who've been doing it different way, or they have a different kind of audience, right? You're comparing yourself with the Ritu version 3 years ago. If you see there is progress there, that's a success to me.
Absolutely. This is very key. This is very key for the definition of the success. It's not in money. However, in a mainstream mindset, you will see that a lot. I observed a lot that success is associated with the money you made. Success is defined in so many different ways where you are in the phase of your life, what resources you have, what support you have, your personal goals. So, success, there is no uh, a single definition. You can define your success in your own ways, and that's pretty good. I have a lot of questions. You just kind of gave me a whole lot to ask you. I want to start with the midlife for women.
Yeah.
Most of the working women who were in a corporate career paths find themselves at that management, senior management roles, and that is a very critical area because that's where a lot of corporate cuts happen.
Yeah.
Now you gained a lot of experiences and all of a sudden you find yourself in a really critical spot. So that's a midlife career transition that I sense that you have been working on with your clients. Tell us a little bit, how do you tell them to rewrite your narrative? It's going to happen. It's
Yeah.
going to happen
Yeah. Yeah.
to many
As
of us.
yeah, as much as we are in our 20 and 30, we try to avoid become 40 or 50. It's coming, right? You cannot skip or pass the aging process for men and women. So when the 50 come, the world or the society, I'm going to talk about women in particular, they tell you this is a time to slow down, right? Slow down, play it safe, stay in your lane, just pick up your paycheck, go home, life is good. That's when I come as a business strategist and I guide women. I said, if you reach this point, you are 50 now or 45, and you see your kids are growing, they are into their life, they are in college or they are about to leave the house, ask yourself, now what? That's it for me. I raised them. I spent all that time. I've been a good wife, a good sister, a good mother. That's all for me? I don't think so. The midlife reinvention, it's very critical because when you reach that 50, yes, you call yourself I aged, I'm old, but what else you can add to that negative narrative? You only label yourself with negative connotation.
Yes.
That no one called you old yet, you called yourself old, right? No one say nothing to you yet, and you said, I'm old, I can be a manager. I'm old, I cannot be a CEO. I'm old, I cannot be a chief engineer. You saying those narratives to you. No one said nothing yet. By using those negative, connotation, you already put yourself in a box or you prison yourself in such a bad situation that's not motivating you, it's not going to inspire you to move forward. So as a woman, if you think about any example of other women who inspires you, look at their stories. And I can list million of those who they start reinventing and become so successful in their midlife. I don't think none of them wait for permission. None
Yes.
of them wait for permission. They just jump, kind of like they just jump into it and they figure things out. And when you hit that midlife, you hit that midlife with wisdom, with stories, with lessons that you learn. That's no one can take that away from you. So
I
when you
like that.
yeah,
And
when
I,
you're
yeah,
younger, you don't have those lessons. When I graduate from engineering, I was 23. I didn't know what's the reality of an engineering woman in such a dominated platform like construction. I thought life is good. I mastered the steel and the structure book. Oh, I will be very successful. Guess what? It was such a difficult journey because what I learned from the book were only theories. It
yeah,
was equation that I was able to solve. But life experience equation is much harder. They are much harder because you're dealing with humans,
yeah.
not with books. Books don't hurt you. Human does, right? So when you deal with colleague and coworker and managers, don't assume everything will be perfect. This is not a linear journey, right? You
Never
can
is.
face a lot of difficulties, and if you think about it, while you're reaching your 50, you collecting all those lessons with you. And when you hit that midlife, those lesson is yours. It's gold, right?
Yes.
No
I,
one can take that.
I want to switch to a little bit different conversation. Those lessons we accumulate, it doesn't, the lessons are not limited to gender. You're a man, woman, young, old, it
Okay.
doesn't matter wherever you are in your journey, you're learning and you're adopting from them. However, for women, I'm not talking about here in US or North America. I'm talking about women anywhere, right? Especially in this century, that women have come out of the households for many reasons. Um, at the top is the economic need to contribute to the family is income, because in a single income families, it's very difficult to live in modern times, right? So women are contributing, they're educated. However, my question for you is that you work with high achieving women also. There are a lot of silent struggles. It doesn't matter which part of the country or nation or culture you are. It's pretty common shared experience to have those silent struggles. Talk about from your experiences what you hear from women.
Beautiful question, Rito. The silent struggles again. It was there. It's still going to be here forever. We cannot delete that because that's who we are as women. We give a lot, and we expect that the society or at workplace will market us better just because we age. We don't really value ourselves enough. So when we get upset and we hit those blocks, we keep quiet, we keep silent, and that silence sometimes eat us alive because it's very painful. Like we know that if we speak up, oh, we're creating a problem, we're being dramatic. Oh, should I go to HR? Should I mention this to my higher up management? Should I complain? And people say, oh, she's a queen of drama. Like every time something happens, she's not keeping quiet. My advice, because I'm in my midlife, so I passed that age for proving myself or building my resume. There is incident that only requires silence. It's not even worth your energy. And there's other incident that require you to speak up. So not everything worth you to reply and act upon it. And the reason why I say that, because when you are younger, when you are in your 30 and 40, this is a human being, default nature. When you come across someone who's rude to you or send you a harsh email, by default, as a human being, men and women, we tend to reply and react, say, oh, I cannot believe he or she said that. Let me show them the ugly part of me or the ugly face I have. That's fine because you are discovering your ability, you're discovering your personality as well. But while you're aging and you hit your midlife, I believe there's a lot of incident that does not require you to do anything. So your silent, it's positive. And
Mm.
the reason why it's positive because it's not draining your energy. This is why the silent is positive because you're keeping that positive energy for other things that matter. You don't need to react in order, oh, let them hear me how I speak. But there is other incident, which is really big deal and matter that's kind of devalue you or put you in a situation it's not correct. In that case, you need to speak up. And to me, to speak up, you don't have to go long and involve the universe around the incident. If you are just precise and concise on your reply, be bold, don't apologize when you want to really clear the incident. Just say what do you think and leave. Don't drag it, making it the subject for 6 months.
I like it. I like that because is my kind of, I'm a heart-based, a logical thinker and a heart-based person. So the drama doesn't really help. It's energy wasted.
Yeah, it is. It is. And we learn that as we age. I mean, when we are younger, we seek
Uh,
validation and we get really upset if our manager, uh, said something, prove us wrong, or we're trying to really struggle to prove all the time we are right. That when you are young is okay because you are building your skills. But when you gain that value and your credential and you reach in your 50, I believe you don't need that validation anymore because you already know how much you value.
Let
So,
me ask you here something. Very sorry to interrupt
of
you. This
course,
is
no,
a
of
very
course.
important question for, I'm sure, women listening out there, or even men listening out there. How to guide the women in their lives, the daughters, the nieces, wife, sister, girlfriend. You know, the validation part of it. Even though you have reached a certain age and you don't need to prove yourself, but I find that women think that they need to prove themselves,
Yeah.
or our society imposes on us in such a ways that we kind of get tempted to prove ourselves over and over. I want you to kind of speak with your experience to younger generation of women, how to own that space of confidence.
Yes, very important question. And I will give you a real life example what's happened when I was a team lead in one of my job, which I'm not going to mention the company name. So I had nearly graduate men and women. They just got out of college. And we were talking about software, how to do, during construction, how to tackle the management stuff, the report, the inspection, all of that. And I always notice same age, men and women, when I ask a question and when I said, who's able to do it, before I finish the sentence, the guy will raise their hand and the girl will hesitate. They will say, what is the system about? What is the software called? Let me see, let me search. So that's the normal I see in women in general. They don't speak up and saying, I know it, unless they are 100% competent, 100% knowledge about the subject. And you see it in even applying job. When you look at the job description and you ask two, two candidate, men and women, you tell the woman why you did not apply for that certain job. They said there is a line saying that you have to know about quality control. And the same guy who graduated the same college, same study, and you ask him why you apply without even having the quality control experience, he said, I will learn it. I'm a quick learner. I don't know how to do the quality control, but I will learn it. So what I'm trying to say here, you see the difference between men and women at workforce, especially for engineering. Men just hit it. They just go and throw themselves in it and they learn as they go. Women, we tend to wait and wait and wait until we are so comfortable 100% until we apply to that job. That's a big mistake because not only we are losing the momentum, we are losing the opportunity to get better.
This
Because
is very important observation, and I wanted to ask you, um, especially the younger generation of women are very educated. They are equally educated with as young men are.
yes,
Um, should they be going out and throwing themselves into it, or is it something that it's our DNA, our nature, how we want to be comfortable where we land ourselves?
yeah, I think uh, I hear one time a clip from Dr. Maya Angelou talking about courage and how important courage is. I think what we are lacking as a woman, younger and even midlife women, we are not having that tenacity and courage to move forward. We wait for the opportunity to pile up in a perfect shape in order for us to tackle it. And that's a big mistake in progressing at the workforce because you will not master everything in a short term. You just have to be willing and having the courage to learn it.
That's important. Yes.
You have to have that courage. And I'll give you another live example for younger engineers. I was doing observation on staff meeting or conferences with older and younger engineer men and women. And I noticed most of the younger engineers, they tend to sit in the back, close to the exit door, right? So the big table, let's say it's fit, I would say 25 or 30, people. And I see them, even if they enter the room so early, they don't sit on the table. They sit where the exit is, where the door is. So I'll share this. It's a little bit personal, but I'm not mentioning the company or the lady's name. I had to call one of those ladies, younger ladies. And it's very funny when I asked her, I said, I'm just curious. When I go to the room, because I run the staff meeting, I see you going and sit all the way in the back where the door is. Why is that? And she's young, very young, much younger than me. She said, yeah, I feel comfortable there. I said, why? She said, well, if I was thinking if I use the bathroom, I can just exit going to the bathroom without no one noticing me. So I didn't say anything. I said, okay. After a couple of staff meeting, she came to me and she said, I'm not very happy in that staff meeting. I said, and why is that? She said, I feel that the higher managers or the chief or whoever is in charge, they are not taking me seriously because I'm young. And I said, why you feel this way? She said, I don't have chance to talk or be part of the conversation. So I had to jump and telling her, I said, I don't blame the guys. I blame you. She said, how comes you are a woman like me? You should take my side. I said, honey, you sitting beside the exit door, excusing yourself to using the bathroom. You don't speak up. You don't claim your space. You don't claim your power on the table. You don't come and even add one sentence. Why are you expecting someone cheer for you? You haven't even opened your mouth. How the higher manager give you a value if you are not giving that value to yourself? You
Yes.
are not claiming it. You're sitting beside the door because you are fear. You don't have that courage to speak up for whatever reason. And I told her, I said, I was young like you one day. I was in my 20. I still speak up. It doesn't matter, accent wrong. Just be part of the conversation. Don't blame the universe when you are not doing the right thing.
Yes, very important for any age. I mean, anyone.
Yeah.
If nothing would be served to you on a platter, you have to do the work yourself. So that is the hardest for people to understand. They say, "Well, I have this degree, and yes, those are important. But when you come to a workplace, degree is just something, piece of paper on the wall. You learn total different." uh, um, uh, skill sets at work.
Totally.
That's always is in theory, as you mentioned. I want to move on to the another question. I think this is very important for to talk about it, as you and I both in coming from the logical way of thinking and still understanding the heart-based conversation. Someone like you with a technical background and you bring logic and intuition together, I think this is very important. And how do you find when you work with clients, you work with younger generation, how do you find you combine the both? I am very confident and I have no question on your skills, but how do you part that skill to the young people?
Each client is different. They come from different, the way how they grow up, their, childhood, the way how their parents raised them, young or old. There is no size fit all. This is why in coaching and mentoring, I don't believe in one cheat sheet or one manual giving all my clients saying, follow these manual, follow these steps, and life will be good. It should be a customized. And going back to your question, how I sell those confidence to younger people, I try not to sell it. I try to explain that I've been in their shoes and age one day, and it was not easy. It was not easy. I can't just say life is rosy, just follow these one, two, three, four, and you'll be confident like me. To answer this question very briefly, I always say your confidence comes from being competent. So
Yeah,
if I go to the room and I am lack of confidence, and Ritu is my coach, Sairan, you have to act confident. Trust me, if I fake it and if I'm the biggest actors, the best actors in the world, the minute I walk to that room, any person if they have a little bit wisdom and smart, they can feel and sense that I'm faking it. On another hand, if I am competent in what I'm doing, when I enter that room, I will enter that room such a different way. And people will see that confident, they will feel it. It's kind of like contagious. I cannot just go and start talking big word and putting fact and the manual say that and the code say that. Oh my God, look at her. She know her number. She's very confident. That's not the real thing. The real thing is to be having full awareness what is around you. Don't take things personally. Have your skill sets, have your knowledge. You don't need to speak up when you don't have anything to add. But if you have really something valuable and you can add to the meeting or add to the whatever audience you are invited to, when you speak with that confidence, people can sense that competency.
it is. It is very true. I shared my experience with you. A mentor many years ago, um, in a Fortune 500 company had said that be courageous to say, I don't know.
Yeah, yeah,
When
yeah.
you don't know, and that doesn't minimize you, it's just that it shows that you are open to learn.
Yes. More power to you. Yeah, more
Yes.
power to you.
And then later on, another exec said, when I use that, I am not sure about this one. I need to know more, or I don't know the answers to particular this complex situation. And I was advised to, you don't have to say that in the meeting. And
Yeah,
then very respectfully, I said that if I did, I'll be misleading.
yeah,
Right. So to come back to your conversation is that owning your space doesn't mean you know all the answers. We learn, right?
true.
So that's it. That's a very important part of the growth process. Um, and I know this type of information you cannot type in into a social media or somewhere any tool. It's like millions right now and get a quick answer. It has to come through you,
Yeah,
right? You talked about that faking something. I tell you, I worked in New York City for several years, and something that I would notice is fake smiles.
yeah,
They looked horrible. They really were inviting. It was just like I felt. I actually, I'm sharing this openly. I felt that if I am not feeling like smiling, I don't have to.
yeah,
But if I am faking a smile, it is making the other person look worse.
yeah, totally, totally.
So if it is our body language that shows up to a visitor, to a other person,
Yeah,
the skills do the same thing. If you are faking to be something and having just a very surface knowledge, it shows up right away. If you don't know it, and that's okay. There's a learning curve. No one knows everything. So
yeah,
be open to. I think this is a very critical lesson for especially people who are just starting out their careers. They don't need to know everything, and not everything comes easy to everybody. I would like to ask you, Sairan, if you would like to share piece of advice, wisdom, tips with the younger generation of women and men also, because we are in a very integrated world right now.
true, true. And it's not an easy, timing now with the AI and with the technology. Things are changing in a blink of eyes. And by the time you think that you master whatever you have, something else will change. And you're like, oh, I have to learn the skills again in order to cope with the changes and what's going on around me. I always remember something my mom used to say. I mean, she raised seven siblings, and I have seven siblings, seven kids, and she was a stay-home mom. She never worked, but she used to tell us all the time there is difference between a full box and an empty box. When you bring a box and you fill it with stuff and you shake that box, it doesn't make noise. And when you bring a box is empty and you shake it, it make a lot of noise. That's the same thing with human being. When you are full of knowledge and confident and impact and you're trying to make a change, you are that full box. So you don't make a lot of noise when you are somewhere. And when you are an empty person, just like that empty box, I see it in engineering field. You go to the room full of guys and women, whatever, different level of management. The person who speak the most are the person who has the least authority, are the person who has the least impact on the project. And you always notice there was a woman or a guy in the corner of the room. They don't speak up unless there is something important. They are the one who has the more powerful, you know, act in the project. So my advice to the audience, men and women, try to master your skills. If you know that you are good in something, master it. Be that full box. Don't make too much noises. Don't make so much, like advertisement. I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna do a workshop. I'm on Instagram. I'm gonna write a book. Just do it.
Just do it. Let the world see it.
And if you notice, Rito, you know that very well because you are a successful entrepreneur woman. People tend not to listen to you when you are still struggling, but they will listen to the same story when you succeed. So that you
Yes.
are the same person when you write that book and it's a become a hit, when you have that successful, you launch that business, people tend to listen to your success story. But while you are doing it, it feels boring to them. If you come to the social media, say, I'm about to write a book, I'm about to give a keynote speak. Got it. Go do it. If it's become a success story, then people will start listening because they can, model and use the same map or blueprint that you've been using. And for me, my only advice to my client when they said we are not ready, I tell them, and that's what I want. I want you to start the first action before you are ready. We are never ready. No
Yeah.
one is ever ready.
Yes.
Pick
Yes.
up the
Time goes
momentum.
by.
Yes, start now and
Hmm.
pick up the momentum. And as you go, you learn the skills. So start before you are ready.
Yes. There is a starting point. The longer you wait, the harder it gets.
Yeah.
So I thank you. Thank you for all these, the wisdom filled nuggets. And I wanted to close our conversation with the what does leadership look like? When you define it in your own term, not going by society's expectation or a kind of quote unquote given definition of success.
Yes, to me, leadership, in short, it's being a role model. It's the same like being an effective and a good parent. I cannot raise my daughter around certain principles if I'm missing those principles because I should be her role model. Leadership is the same. If I am teaching my daughter respect, positive communication, active listening, being a team player, I can teach the same thing to my younger generation engineer as a team lead. So if I'm not a role model myself, what are you expecting your team member or your kids learn from you? If I'm preaching something that I am lacking, no one will listen to me. But if you are a leader and let's say you want to finish a project on time and on budget, your team member will look at your skill sets. And if you are doing your best, they're going to follow the path. So I become a role model without me saying anything, just by doing the work.
Just by
By
doing
me
the work.
doing the work, they're going to follow you. So that's my definition for the leadership.
Um, Let me ask one more question. In the age of AI and social media, that's we are in a fourth industrial revolution. So technology is here to stay. We're never going back. We have made way deep into where we are. How do you find it to bring generations together where there's just so much divide?
Again, we cannot eliminate that divide by a tools or by a new leaders or by new technology. That division and that lack of generation collaboration will still be there. There will be still different thinking between me and my daughter who just turned 21. But if we learn to work together in a way that we respect each other perspective, when I look at a certain things, for example, when I open my Instagram, my way to manage the Instagram page was totally different than my daughter way to manage my Instagram. She's 21, I'm in my mid 50. My approach to things is totally different than her. So instead of me judging her that she's not wise like me, she don't have life lessons, I should just listen. Listen, let me see where she's coming from. Her point might be valuable. And I have to admit to you, and thanks God she doesn't hear me. She's not in the house, so her head doesn't get big. Every time she explains her point of view, she's always right.
Oh,
Why? Not because she's smarter than me, no, because she is more coping with the change happening in the world around us. I'm more into the book, old-fashioned paper, old generation, but she's more quicker than me to adapting and coping with the change happening. So her point of view, it's fresh and it's
yeah,
valuable. So if we learn to listen to each other's, and she learned stuff from me as well, but by giving a space and respect and less judgmental, we still gonna judge a lot. Every single person of us judge every day, just about everything. But
Mhm.
if we learn to judge less, we're gonna learn more.
This is the advice, is the biggest golden nugget. Yes, to listen to each other more, right? Regardless of your generation, every generation has something valuable to give to each other. Not be judgmental. Allow ourselves the space.
Definitely. I have a quote. I think it was 2 years ago. My daughter really loved it. I put on the quote. I wish if I was around when I wish if I was around my kids when I was a teenage, which is like a joke, right? Meaning like I learned so much from my daughter who are 18 months apart. They are 23 and 21. I put in the quote, I wish if they were around when I was a teenage, because their perspective is very unique,
Yes,
are more adaptable. They are the product of this generation, right? So by
yes,
listening to them, not doing everything they tell you, but just listen to them, see
yes,
where they are coming from, and there is value on both sides.
absolutely. Absolutely. Sarah, it had been such a wonderful conversation, and I know that you have an offer for the audience. They can reach out
Yes,
for a,
yes,
complimentary
yes,
uh,
yes.
introduction
Yes,
and
yes. So my
analysis.
strategy call, normally, I mean, I do charge hourly and I have a academy that I open in June and December for 28 days program. But for the sake of your audience, men and women, it doesn't matter. If they want to reach out to me in LinkedIn, Sairan Aqrawi, or Instagram, Sairan Aqrawi in one word, I give them complimentary 15 minutes on both platform for
Okay.
strategy call. If they mention your name, and your podcast. I will give them 15 minutes around LinkedIn, how to scale their LinkedIn, how to make it more appealing, what to do during interview, how to have that executive presence, how to gain more confidence. Trust me, on that 15 minutes, all they need, the nugget from me, one, two, three, is always three pillars.
Yeah.
Same thing with Instagram. If they have a job or they want to pivot or do transformation or they just want to start a side business like me, they can reach out also to me on Instagram. I can teach them three important pillars to start a side business while they are working.
Well, thank you so much. We will add that information here for the audience, your Instagram as well as your LinkedIn. And if they mentioned you being on this podcast guest, definitely they will earn that complimentary consultation from you. It had been such a delightful conversation, and I wish you a lot of luck on making that
Thank you.
positive impact for the younger generation.
Thank you so much. It was my honor, Ritu. Thank you so much for having me. Appreciate
Thank
it.
you. And for our audience, so please check her out, her LinkedIn profile. We have the tags below here. And until the next time, I am host Ritu Chopra, and have a wonderful day. Thank you. Thank you for listening to this episode. We hope that information our guest has shared is helpful and you are taking away valuable tips and knowledge. We are committed to supporting women and building cause driven businesses that create positive impact in their communities. Join us in the movement for change. Take action now and be part of Let's Come Together movement. Together, we can recognize, celebrate, and empower women who are making a difference in today's economy. Connect with passionate and powerful women, collaborate on cause driven businesses, and build a better future for our communities. Let's advance sustainable goals for the people, planet, and prosperity. Join the Let's Come Together movement, a private community today, and be catalyst for change in creating and raising conscious leaders of tomorrow. Thank you.